All right, so let's get started. Thanks again for joining me today. I'm glad to be here. Let's find a comfortable seat. So, comfortable seat can mean different things to different people. Maybe you're sitting on the floor or propped up on a cushion or a pillow. Maybe you are sitting in a chair for now while we meditate, and then you'll move to the mat. Maybe that's more comfortable for you. Or maybe you have your knees bent and your feet flat, and you're kind of hugging onto your knees just to give you a little more support so you can sit up nice and tall. So as you're finding your seat, see if you can drop in to the breath, letting go of your day so far, letting go of getting here, allowing your awareness to kind of soften, just be in your body. Sitting, know you're sitting. Inhaling, know you're inhaling. Exhaling, know you're exhaling. And then notice if you can sit up a little straighter with every inhale. And with every exhale, let the shoulders melt down away from the ears. Let yourself root into the floor. And just start to notice the breath. You don't have to do anything with it just yet. Just notice. What does it feel like? Maybe you notice some coolness or some warmth. Maybe you start to notice where the breath feels the most prominent, the tip of the nostrils or the throat or the chest or belly. Just focusing on those inhales, focusing on those exhales. And then go ahead and exhale everything out of your body. Take a deep inhale, fill up. And then open your mouth, let it go. One more time. Fill up something you're holding on to. And open your mouth, let it go. Let's inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going with your own pace, your own breath. Maybe you lengthen the count to 7 or 10. You can close your eyes if that feels good, or have a soft downward gaze. Just dropping in, starting to sense the top of the inhale, the bottom of the exhale, and trying to cultivate this long, even breath throughout the practice. Slowly flaring the eyes open, maybe squeezing them tight and opening them really wide, blinking a couple of times. Maybe you look up with just the eyes, down or to the sides, or maybe you look around in a big circle with just your eyes, noticing the edges of everything. And then maybe shake the hands out a little bit, get the blood flowing in the hands. Maybe drop the right ear to the right shoulder, take an inhale. Exhale, roll the chin toward the chest. Slowly bringing the left ear to the left shoulder, inhaling there. Exhale, roll. Keep going with this rhythm. Maybe you spend a little more time where it feels like you need a little more attention. Maybe one side, you nod. When you get to the other side, you nod. Maybe you bring your fingertips to the floor for a little more stretch here. And see if you can keep the heart high and the shoulders nice and level as you roll. Trying not to cave in through the heart. Maybe you look over the shoulder, over the other shoulder. Stretching through the sides of the neck. Any other movements that feel good. And then maybe start to shrug the shoulders, inhaling up and forward. Exhale, down and back. Inhale up and forward. Exhale, down and back. Maybe you get the elbows into it. Couple breaths here. Maybe the whole arms, inhaling up, exhaling back. Couple of these. If this feels good, you can keep going here. If this is too much on your shoulders, that's totally fine. You can bring your hands to your shoulders and just rotate the elbows. And see if you can notice the shoulder blades moving apart as you reach up and forward. And as you reach back, feeling the shoulder blades squeeze together and drop down the back. See if you can feel that, those muscles moving on the back. And then maybe just one arm. Inhale up and forward. And as you circle it behind you, follow your pinky with your gaze looking over the shoulder. Bringing it down, other side, inhale up and forward. Exhale, circle back, look over the shoulder, twisting from the belly button. One more time on each side, inhale up. Exhale back. Other side, inhale up. Just opening that heart, opening the chest. Nice. And then maybe roll those shoulders one more time. Check in with the neck. Maybe shift side to side. Notice how it feels. Take a little inventory in your muscles, in your hips. And then inhale, reach the arms. Flip the palms to face up, interlacing the fingers, and then breathing here. Maybe you inhale, lean to the right, pulling that top arm over. Exhaling, coming center. Inhale, lean to the other side, pulling that top arm. Feeling the stretch in the side body. Exhaling, coming to the center. And then go ahead and bring it down. Arms out by your sides. Maybe you flip the palms to face up. Maybe you flip them back. Feel the shoulders rotating. Feel the arms rotating. Nice. And then interlace the fingers behind you. If you can't quite reach, you can grab onto something like a handkerchief or a towel to bring your hands together. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. See if you can lift the hands up off the tail. If they don't come off very far, that's fine. Maybe just tip side to side. And then keep the hands clasped. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, release. Shake it out. Let the arms dangle. Maybe you roll the wrists. Make some little small fists like kitten paws. And just roll them here, backwards and forwards. Maybe you get the fingers into it. Make your hands really saucy. And feel the backs of the wrists and the hands warming up. Because we're going to spend some time in that tabletop position later, so we'll have our weight on our wrists and we want to warm them up. We don't want to go into that cold. So just however it feels good, maybe you press the fingertips apart, stretching. Maybe you stretch one wrist. All the ways it'll stretch. Other side. Just noticing what feels good for you. And then shake it out. Inhale, reach the arms up nice and tall. Exhale, let's twist to the right. Bring the left hand on the right knee. Right hand comes behind you. With every inhale, sitting up nice and tall. With every exhale, gently twisting, starting from the belly button, and then working your way through the chest and the shoulders. It's a gentle twist, so don't feel too much pressure to make it look nice or for it to be a really long or stretchy twist. When you're ready, inhale, come up through center, arms reach. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand on the left knee, left hand behind you. Again, with every inhale, sitting up nice and tall. With every exhale, gently twisting through the belly button, then the chest and the shoulders. Being gentle, letting those shoulder blades melt down the back, letting that heart rise a little bit. And then when you're ready, inhale, come up through center, arms reach. And then we're going to forward fold. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me, but you can stay right where you are. So we're just going to come into this forward fold. Spider crawl the fingertips away from you. Lift the wrist, tenting the fingers. Breathing here and press through those fingertips a lot so that you can feel the stretch, maybe in the tops of the shoulders or the backs of the arms, maybe even into the back a little bit. Couple of breaths here. Let the head hang heavy. On your next exhale, walk the hands back up to your seat. Switch which leg is on top or in front. Let's see which leg was on top. I don't even know. All right, inhale, reach the arms up, come center, and then let's forward fold again. This side is probably going to feel totally different from the first side. And let's breathe here. This time you can bring the hands all the way down. This time you can let the head fall all the way down. And with every inhale, try to lengthen the spine, so maybe you reach a little bit forward on the mat with your forehead. And on your exhale, soften through that hip crease. Breathing here. Taking your time. When you're ready, slowly walk your hands back up to your seat. And then let's reach the right leg out to the side. I'm going to take the cushion out from under me. You can leave it underneath you if that feels better for you. Always doing what feels best and safest in your body. You're the expert of your body. You know what to do here. All right, knees pointing towards the ceiling, toes are towards the ceiling. And let's take that right hand, plant it inside inside the right leg. Inhale, reach that left arm up. And when you reach this left arm up, feel this left sits bone really plugged into the floor, really grounded. Take an inhale and then press your belly button towards your spine just a little bit to protect your low back and slowly side fold. Maybe you only come a little bit out. Maybe you come far out and slide the hand down, whatever feels best. If this starts to hurt your low back, come up out of it a little bit. All right. Breathing here. When you're ready, inhale, come on up. Exhale at the top. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, forward fold. So just like we did with the legs crossed, now we're doing it with one leg out. And I want you to bring the hands really close to the body. Roll the shoulders back. And then reaching with the heart, reaching with the top of the head, slowly walk the hands out. Maybe one step, maybe two steps. Maybe you just bend the elbows and lean that heart and the crown of the head forward. Feeling the stretch in the hamstring. Breathing here. When you're ready, on your exhale, slow walk the hands back up to the seat. All right, turn your torso towards your extended legs. So belly button's facing your toes. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale again, just bring the hands down close, roll the shoulders back. Then you can kind of shift to the seat and walk the hands out. Maybe you bend the elbows. Maybe you take the left hand, bring it over the thigh or the shin or the ankle, anywhere but the knee. Just to give yourself a little bit more of a turn. So you're steering that left shoulder towards that right knee. You might feel a twist in the torso, a stretch in the sides, and you might feel that stretch in the hamstring in the middle. Breathing here. When you're ready, walk your hands to the center again. Maybe you lengthen one time, and then on your exhale, slow walk the hands up to your seat. Roll those shoulders back, and let's switch legs out. So now the left leg comes out to the side. Right leg's tucked in. Left hand inside the left leg. Inhale, reach that right arm up. Feel that right sits bone grounded. Feel those right fingertips reaching towards the sky. Inhale, press the belly button towards the spine. Exhale, side fold. Maybe it's a short side fold. Maybe you come down a little further, pressing that left arm into the left leg, steering the elbow towards the sky. Breathing here. Take an inhale. Exhale, come up to the seat. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, bring them down close. Roll those shoulders back. And then go ahead and walk the hands out center. Maybe just one step. Maybe you keep rolling those shoulders back, bend the elbows. Reach through the heart, reach through the crown of the head, breathing. See if you can feel this stretch in your hamstring, the one that's closer to the inside. Breathing here. Couple of breaths. When you're ready, slowly walk the hands up to the seat. And then turn your torso toward that extended leg. So shifting the seat here. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, bring them down close to the body. Then roll those shoulders, walk it out. Maybe you come down really far, maybe you don't. Maybe you hang onto your thigh, your shin, or your ankle or foot, anywhere that's comfortable except your knee, and then gently use that to fold. Keeping that spine nice and long. So every time your shoulders want to round it out, send those shoulder blades down the back. Pretend like there's two weights on the bottom points of your shoulder blades, keeping the spine nice and long. Breathing here. When you're ready, walk your hands out center. Maybe you reach forward one time, and on your exhale, walk the hands back up to the seat. All right, bring the soles of the feet together. And first, pull the heels in kind of close. If you pull them in too close and you feel like you're going to fall to one side or the other, you can walk them a step out. Go ahead and hang on to your ankles here, a nice, stable, strong, and safe place to hold on to. Roll those shoulders back again. Sitting up nice and tall, take an inhale. And on your exhale, bend the elbows, press the knees away. You might feel this more in the inner thigh. Maybe if you have some pain in the low back, you might back out of it a little bit. Breathing here. And pretend like you're trying to put your belly button on your feet. So really reaching that spine out long, heart towards the front of the mat, crown of the head towards the front of the mat. Breathing. Keep those shoulder blades drawn down the back. Nice. Keep breathing here, a couple of breaths. When you're ready, you can press your hands into the floor, slowly come back up. This time, move the feet a little further away so that there's a nice big diamond shape on the floor when you look down. And now you can round into it. This is like one of the only times I'm going to say you can round into it. So maybe you gently bring your hands to your toes or the backs of your feet, or maybe you even walk your hands underneath your shins if that feels good, and then round in, kind of like a turtle. And here I want you to connect back with your breath so you can hear the breath as you breathe. Maybe it's like listening to a big seashell, like the ocean. Coming home to the breath again and again. Noticing it, hearing the inhales, hearing the exhales. This echo, maybe the heartbeat in the chest. You might feel this more in the low back and in the glutes and the hamstrings than the first version. When you're ready, remove your hands and slowly walk them up to your seat. Take your hands, gently bring the knees together, maybe walk them in a step, and then sit up nice and tall. And you can use your knees here to help you sit up, to help the heart rise, to help that belly button press back towards the spine. And maybe you just sit here and this is already enough of a core exercise for you, because it can be the higher you sit up. Maybe you scoop your hands underneath the backs of your thighs, bring one shin up, bring it parallel with the floor. Maybe you bring the other shin up, parallel with the floor, sitting up nice and tall. You can stay here. You can tap one toe and then the other. You can also just stay in that first bus stop. Maybe you bring it here. Maybe if you want a little more, you can bring your arms out by your sides. Navasana, boat pose. Sitting up nice and tall, reaching that heart. Breathing, keeping those shoulders rolled back. Take an inhale, and then exhale, bring it all in. Hug the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze. And maybe today you just do that for a couple seconds. Maybe tomorrow a couple more. Totally up to you. All right. Go ahead and cross your ankles. Rock forward. Plant the hands. And we're going to come into tabletop. I'm going to grab my blanket. And you can pat your knees if you want to with me. Or you don't have to. Totally up to you. I like to pad my knees. All right. Coming into this tabletop position. Hip is over the knee. Shoulders over the wrist. If this hurts your wrist, turn your hands a little bit out to the sides. And then make sure that you're pressing through every knuckle of every finger to support the weight. And really rock the eyes of the elbows forward. So instead of bending the elbows out, bring them a little bit more towards the back. So from this tabletop position, on your inhale, drop the belly, look up. Tail comes up, head comes up. On your exhale, press the floor away. Round the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, looking up. Exhale, pressing the floor away, really tucking the navel to the spine, rounding the upper back. Keep going. Maybe you keep going with the cat-cows here. Maybe you make some circles with the hip and the head. Maybe you tip the hip towards the head or make some S shapes or some wave shapes here. Just really sort of getting into this liquid quality in the spine, finding this connection like a snake, and starting to link the breath with the movement, inhaling as you extend, exhaling as you contract. Just leaning into it, breathing, make it your own. Don't be afraid about what it looks like. Just make it feel good. All right, and then when you're ready, come to a neutral spine. And then inhale, lengthen that right leg out behind you. Stomp your heel into the back wall, like you're trying to kick the wall away. And then go ahead and bend your knee out to the side, kind of like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. You can bend the elbows here a little bit, that's fine. And make a circle with that knee. Really big circles if you can, or smaller circles if that feels better. Like you're trying to draw a circle, like there's a pencil on the point of your knee. And then make sure you go both directions. And then go ahead and inhale, lengthen it out behind you. And then we're gonna bring it outside the front hand. So however you get it there. And this is a nice alternative in your vinyasa if bringing it through to the middle is a little bit more difficult. Try to bring it to the outside first, then you can always walk the hand. So we're kind of in this modified lizard pose. If the floor feels super far away, you can grab some rolled up towels or your blocks here. And then maybe you walk that back leg out a little bit. Walk the front leg forward. Make sure that knee stays right on top of that ankle and you find what works for you. So if up high feels better, stay there. Breathing here, and then maybe you walk that right hand outside the foot, kind of in a low lunge. You can stay here and breathe if you already feel this stretch in the back leg here. If you want to, you can squeeze this front knee in towards the midline. Inhale, come on up into your low lunge. Squeezing the inner thighs together like you're hugging a grapefruit for balance. Maybe you bring the arms out by your sides, cactus arms. Then maybe you reach the heart up, look up, take an inhale. Exhale, come back center. Inhale, reach the arms one more time. And then exhale, bring them down. Breathing here. Walk that hand back inside. So now we're in our modified lizard pose. And then maybe you scoot that back knee back up. When you're ready, inhale, send that right leg back out. Maybe roll it, maybe shake it, and then set it down. And now notice from side to side. How does the left side feel? How does the right side feel? Do they feel different? And we'll do the other side. When you're ready, inhale, lengthen that left leg out behind you. Stomp that heel into the back wall. Kick the back wall away. Then bend that knee out to the side and make your circles. Breathing the whole time, bending the elbows if you need to. Going both directions with those circles, warming up that hip crease and that hip socket. And then when you're ready, inhale, lengthen it out. And then bring it outside the left hand for that lizard variation. So we're kind of in a high lunge here. You can stay here. You can be on your blocks or your blankets, whatever you have rolled up. And then maybe you walk that back leg out. You can stay right here. If you want to, you can walk the left hand outside, scoot the left foot towards the center a little bit. Breathing here. If this already feels great and stretchy, you can just stay here. If you want to hug that front knee in towards the midline, squeeze the inner thighs together, reach up into your low crescent lunge. Breathing here. Keeping that belly button tucked towards the spine. Maybe you bring the arms, cactus arms. Maybe you reach the heart up, look up. Come back center, inhale, reach the arms one more time. Exhale, plant them to frame the front foot. Maybe you are done with your blocks. You can always move them. Walk that hand back inside, lizard variation. Then maybe you scoot that back knee up a little. And we're sending it back. Inhale, lengthen it out. Maybe you roll the ankle. Maybe you shake out the leg. And then set it down. Bring the knees wide, hips back, child's pose. And everybody's child's pose is going to look different. If this is too much on your knees, you can take a blanket or a pillow and bring it underneath your thighs so that there's less of a bend in the knees. That's my tip for child's pose. Maybe your shins are parallel. Maybe shins are touching. Whatever feels good here. Let the head hang heavy though. Breathing. Coming back to that breath again. Maybe you hear the heartbeat. And that oceanic breath. In and out like a wave. When you're ready, gently come back up tabletop. And then we're going to go into a twisted child's pose here. So from your tabletop, inhale, reach the right arm out to the side. And as you exhale, scoop it underneath the left arm. Bring the right ear to the floor. Left hand's going to come out in front of you on the mat. If you want a little more intensity, you can really press that left pinky into the floor and keep the both arms very straight. If you want a little less intensity, you can bend that front elbow a little more. Breathing here into the space you're creating in the back of the heart. Couple of breaths. When you want to come out of this, bring the left hand in front of your face on the floor. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, gently press back up. Tabletop, maybe shake out the arm. And then we'll come into the other side. Patting the knees is super helpful here if that feels good. Inhale, left arm comes out to the side. Exhale, scoop it underneath the right arm. Left ear comes to the floor. Right arm comes out in front of you. Again, if you want a little more intensity, make sure both arms are really straight, really perpendicular, pressing that right pinky into the floor. If you want a little less, you can bend the front elbow just a little bit, soften it. Breathing here. And just keep inhaling into this space, feeling that right shoulder blade gently move away from the midline to stretch that space behind the heart. Couple of breaths. When you're ready, bring that right hand in front of your face on the floor. Take an inhale. Exhale, press back up, tabletop. Maybe you shake it out. Take your time, no rush. And then maybe just shift side to side. Notice how you feel. Maybe take a little cat-cow, stretching. Just sense into how it feels. All right. We're going to take our blanket here, and you can use a blanket. You can use a small couch pillow, maybe if you have a little throw pillow, or even a towel. And I'm going to kind of roll it up into a small burrito shape. And this has a texture to it, so I'm going to roll the texture into the middle so I don't feel it as much. All right, so I've got my burrito shape here. Whatever you have lying around will work, even if you just have like a shawl or something. It doesn't have to be very high. It can be really small because we're going to use it as a heart opener. So the smaller might be the better today if you're feeling a little tight in the shoulders. So you're going to bring it to your back here, more up than low. So you don't want it super into the low back. So it's pretty small. You can use a block if you have a block as well. And we're going to gently bend the knees and slowly, if you can, make your way onto your back here. So it can be a very small towel. It doesn't have to be a very high thing, because if it's really high, it might feel really intense actually. So if this hurts the low back right away, press through the feet, lift the tailbone, drop the tailbone more towards the floor instead of pointed up, if that makes sense. And then gently bring your fingertips to the back of your head, lengthen the back of your neck. So I'm kind of scooping my head so that my chin drops more towards my chest. And then let the arms come out to the sides on the floor. I might walk my feet to the edges of the mat and then let my knees fall together. Constructive rest, if that feels good. You can lengthen the legs if that feels good for you. That might hurt the low back if you have some low back stuff. Or you can bring the soles of the feet together for like a recline bound angle. And breathe here. Really letting the heart open towards the front. Letting the arms soften onto the floor. And then notice if you're kind of holding anywhere. Maybe you're clenching the jaw or furrowing the brow. If you're making a fist, see if you can soften it. And see if you can just put it all down. This might feel a little uncomfortable or vulnerable. If it's painful, feel free to roll onto your side and then just remove the prop and lay on flat on your back for now. But if it feels uncomfortable just in a new way, see if you can breathe into it a little bit. So this is the opposite of what we do all day. So this might feel counterintuitive because we're really allowing the heart to be exposed, allowing the shoulders and the arms to open out to the sides. If you want more, you can bring the arms up by your ears, like goalpost arms, bending the elbows. If you want less, you can bring the arms further down towards your legs, or just out by your sides like a T, whatever feels good. Breathing. You can close the eyes if that feels all right. Just notice. We're going to be here for a few breaths. So again, if this becomes painful at any time, you can absolutely change the position. You can flatten out your roll into maybe more of a fold, or you can even just lay flat on your back. But be gentle. If you are going to come out of it, just roll onto your side first, just to protect the back and the neck. Breathing here, letting the rib cage wing out to the sides as you breathe and inhale. Maybe feeling your abdomen fill up like a balloon as you inhale. And as you exhale, letting the belly fall. Inhaling, filling the belly up with air. Exhaling, letting the belly fall. Softening where you can and seeing what doesn't need to be working right now. Feel free to stay here a little bit longer. If you'd like to come out, make sure the knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, and then gently roll onto your side as if you were coming out of Savasana. And then just kind of push the prop, whatever you had underneath you, out of the way and gently come back onto your back. And notice if you feel any different. Maybe again, scooping the hands underneath the base of the skull to gently drop the chin toward the chest and just breathe. Seeing what the hips feel like. Maybe you rock the knees side to side to soften the sacrum onto the floor. Maybe you bring the knees up and roll them a little, finding that sweet spot on the floor. And then bring the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze. And then bring your feet back to the floor, knees bent. Press through the feet, lift the hips, move them over to the right a couple of inches, and then let your knees fall out to the left. You can take that same prop that you had underneath you and bring it underneath your top knee to let your hips kind of relax. You can also cross the top leg over the bottom leg over the top leg, whatever feels good. Maybe the arms come out by your sides like a T. Just see if you can keep both shoulder blades on the mat. You can do whatever you want with your arms, but try to keep both shoulder blades flat on the mat. Whatever version of the legs feels good. Maybe you just stack the knees, maybe crisscross them either way, breathing. And you can look over the right shoulder if that feels good on your neck. If that does not feel good on your neck, you can simply look at the ceiling. Maybe you close the eyes if that feels all right to you. With every inhale, imagine the spine growing nice and long. And with every exhale, allowing yourself to melt into this twist. Letting that right knee melt away from that right shoulder. Breathing, clearing this right side of the body. And again, you can stay here as long as you like in this pose. We're going to be here for a few more breaths. When you'd like to come out of this pose, gently roll your knees back towards your chest. Keep them nice and low. Give them a squeeze one more time, and then bring those feet flat to the mat. Press through the feet, lift the hips, move them over to the left this time, and let the knees fall out to the right. And then whatever you did on the first side, try to repeat that on this side. So maybe you keep the legs stacked, bring something in between the knees, or you can cross top leg over the bottom leg over the top. Again, trying to keep both shoulder blades on the mat. And you can look over that left shoulder or at the ceiling. You can always close your eyes if that feels good to you. Mellow times. With every inhale, spine is lengthening. And with every exhale, allowing yourself to melt, letting that left knee melt away from that left shoulder. Breathing into and clearing out this left side of the body. Couple of breaths. Inhaling, know you're inhaling, do it on purpose. Exhaling, know you're exhaling, do it on purpose. Again, seeing if you're holding, can you soften the jaw? Can you unfurrow the brow? Are you making a fist? Can you soften the hands or the soles of the feet, the inner thigh? Can you release the space behind your heart? And again, you can stay here as long as you like, as long as it feels good. And when you're ready, slowly, again, keeping the legs nice and low, circle those knees back into the chest, like the hands on a clock. Give them a squeeze. Maybe you make some circles, massaging the low back. And then when you're ready, maybe you grab the outside edges of the feet for happy baby, maybe lengthening one leg and then the other. Or if you don't like happy baby, you can bring the soles of the feet together and grab onto your ankles, press the hips into the mat to neutralize the spine. Whatever feels the best in your body right now. And as you're ready, making your way towards Savasana. Maybe you come for a traditional Savasana, maybe you roll up your blanket, put it underneath your knees. You can lie on your belly for a front lying Savasana. You can take your mat to the wall for legs up the wall. Or you can always take a seated meditative pose. I will ask, of course, that you stay with us until the end of class so we can close out together, but do get as comfortable as you can for the next few minutes. Letting the bones grow heavy, letting the breath return to its natural rhythm, allowing your awareness to drop back in space, taking this rest, taking this time for yourself. And you can thank yourself for showing up on the mat today. Maybe you count the breath in for 5 or 7 or 10, out for 5 or 7 or 10. Closing the eyes if that feels okay. Just allowing for this stillness, this space, for this bit of peace, if you can find it. Nothing to do, nowhere to be. Maybe doing a body scan if that's helpful for you to stay in the breath. Bring your awareness to the tips of your toes, to the soles of the feet and the tops of the feet, to your heels and your ankles. Bringing your awareness to your shins and your calves, to your knees and the backs of your knees, to your thighs. Bring your awareness to your fingertips, to your palms and the backs of your hands and your wrists, to your forearms and your elbows and the insides of your elbows. Bring your awareness to the bowl of your pelvis, to your low back and your low belly, to the chest and the mid-chest and the mid-back, into your upper arms and your shoulders and your armpits, across your collarbones and your shoulder blades. Bring your awareness to your neck and your throat, your chin and the back of your head, your ears, your face, your nose, your lips, your eyes, the brow bone, the temples, and the forehead, all the way up through the crown of the head. Maybe you take a couple of full body inhales and full body exhales. Slowly bringing the breath back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to deepen your inhales and your exhales. Maybe reaching the arms up over your head for a long line stretch. Take a deep inhale, fill up. And then open your mouth, let it go. One more time, fill up anything you're holding on to. Open your mouth, let it go. Slowly bringing your knees into your chest one at a time. Give them a squeeze. And then gently rolling onto one side, making a pillow with your arm, allowing your awareness to come back into the space. Taking this moment before you return to your day that's just yours. And then when you're ready, slowly lengthening that top leg, pressing that top hand into the mat, and gently making your way to your seat. And as you make your way to your seat, just notice what feels different, what feels the same. What's the tone and texture of the mind, the quality of the breath. And then all together slowly as you inhale, reaching the arms far and wide and tall. And slowly as you exhale, bringing your hands to your heart. Bring your attention to the space around your heart, all the way around, front, back, top, bottom, side to side, and see if you can soften there. Bring your hands to your forehead as a reminder of kind thought, to your lips as a reminder of kind speech, and to your heart as a reminder of kind intention. Bowing forward, acknowledging all of the teachers in our lives, seen and unseen, but especially the most important teacher, the inner teacher. It's always there to access. All we have to do is drop in. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming this afternoon and sharing your practice with me. I hope you feel good. Thanks for joining me. I'm here every week.